Dreams make good stories, but everything important happens when they're awake.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to Film Trigger. My name is Stevie Cade, and the movie Dune has landed. Do you have any idea how excited I am for this movie? No? Good, because I haven't been excited for it at all. I don't know shit about Dune. I've never read the books. I've never seen the previous movie. These kind of like sci-fi, fantastical movies, like, I don't know, like Lord of the Rings and shit like that. I have a hard time getting behind. But I wanted to give this an honest shot. So, yeah, we did. So, I say we, tentatively. I just got done watching it literally 10 minutes ago. So these are my fresh first thoughts. But before we dive in, let's get that part out of the way where you hit the subscribe button and all that bullshit. Yeah, do that. Don't do that. I don't give a shit. Anyway, let's dive into this movie. My official non-spoiler review for Dune. So, watching this movie, it was kind of a snooze fest. I'm not going to lie. I just was not pulled in. But I'll dive more into that here in just a little bit. I'm actually going to dive into what I like about this movie first. And that's literally anything visual, the cinematography, the directing, even the score by Hans Zimmer. Like, it's all put together very fucking well. I don't know much from the director who did this. I believe his name is Denis Villeneuve. I know he did Arrival and like some other things, and I've only seen part of Arrival, so I don't really know his stuff, but I was very impressed with what I got in this movie when it came to the visual aspects of it, the crew that he hired to do his cinematography, Hans Zimmer doing the music to this. It all just came together very well. It was a very aesthetically pleasing movie to watch. And then we have the cast. This is the first time I've been introduced to Timothée Chalamet. Like, I've never noticed him anywhere before until I saw his face show up as Willy Wonka. And I'm like, okay, who the hell's this kid? Well, I'm glad I got to see him perform because he did really good. All in all, this is a star-studded cast. So, like, pretty much everyone just knocked it out of the park. Dave Bautista continuing to show me that he has great acting chops. Jason Momoa just showing up for the party still. That's what he does. Like, hey man, what's going on? High five. Where's the booze? Like, which he did totally. When he first showed up in this movie, he was totally. I was like, okay, here's Aquaman, but in the desert. Neat. But then later on in the movie, he actually did bring his acting up a little bit. Because if you know my channel, you know what I love Aquaman. I love Jason Momoa's attitude. I just don't think the guy's a serious actor. Hasn't proved it to me yet, but he did a decent job in this movie, so he's gonna fall into what I like. The third act of this movie is what saved me from actually just turning this movie off. Because I watched it at home, and I know all you're gonna say, oh, well, Steve, you need to watch it in theaters because that's where you're gonna get the real experience. No, fuck you. I got a nice system at home. If I want to watch a movie in theaters, it's not going to be a movie I can stream. I have HBO Max. I'm not going to pay more money. Unless this movie fucking impressed the shit out of me, and then I decided to go see it in theaters, that's what I'll do. Not doing that. Not doing that at all. But anyway, back to the review. The third act is what grabbed me. And parts of the second act did as well, but it was definitely that first act that just was dragging on for me. But the third act really hit home, and like by the end of it, I'm just like, okay, what happens next? Oh, it's the end. Damn, do I want a sequel? I don't know. Maybe. Moving right along with what I'm on the fence about when it comes to this film. The story to this movie. Again, I'm a Dune virgin. Never seen any of its content before, so I don't know the story of Dune. So as a Dune virgin going into this movie for the first time, it was just a lot of fucking backstory. And I'll tell you what, during that entire first act, all I can think about was, okay, so this is Star Wars mixed with Avatar without any of the fun. Neat. That's what it is. It's just those two concepts and a few others. I mean, you could throw in Mad Max and shit like that in there. A few other concepts that are just that I've seen before. I've seen it, which is going to bring me right along with what I don't like about this movie. And that's the fact that I didn't think any of this stuff was original. They have the Force, but they call it the Voice. It does the same fucking thing as the Force, but you can hear it. even the main character's storyline. This is like a very like Anakin Skywalker sort of thing. Like Anakin and Luke Skywalker sort of thing. They just kind of put them together. And then you also have spice. Spice is like that metal shit on the planet in Avatar. I almost gave up on this movie halfway through because I just thought it was a regurgitation of everything I've seen before. I had a tough time understanding why certain things were happening. And not just that, but the things that were happening, I just didn't care about. Like even if I understood them, I just didn't care. And that's because I'm not the right audience for this movie. It's not the movie itself. Like, and I really had to have a come to Jesus moment here. Some movies they're targeted to certain audiences, you know, like you're not going to find you're not going to find most of your horror movie fans, you know, going to flock to theaters to see the new Addams Family cartoon, like, because it's not targeted to them. Movies like this aren't targeted to me. And they're not in my wheelhouse. And I sit there pretty bored. With that being said, overall, I'm very aware that this movie was not for me, and that's okay. Taking that out of it and actually looking at the movie for what it is, it's actually probably a pretty decent movie. Because by the third act, I was pretty hooked, and like now I kind of want to see the sequel to it just because I really liked where the story was going. It finally drew me in. But did they draw me in enough? I don't know. But I do respect what the movie brought to the table. So if you like these types of movies, I recommend that you go to the theater and watch this. If you're kind of about these types of movies, I highly recommend you stay at home and watch it from the comfort of your own couch. Especially if you already have HBO Max, so you don't pay that extra money, that $50 to go out and get a ticket and fucking popcorn. But for all these reasons, that's why I'm giving this movie a C-.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
Which I think is pretty nice. I think I'm being pretty fair because I was half asleep through most of this movie, it felt like. I really wasn't, but I felt like I just wanted to turn it off. Like I was sitting in my seat going. Anyway, there's my review for Dune, my non-spoiler review. I might do a spoiler live thing that I normally do if I can. I think Ramon from the channel Hit or Miss TV, he really likes this movie, so I'd really like to get his opinion and our dynamics with that together. So maybe we can get something together and maybe next week. I'll let you all know. Stay tuned to maybe that coming. Also, be sure to check out some more of my videos, and as always, stay trigger happy, my friends. Peace.